Hey, Mom, will you be home late again today? Dad made stew for supper again.
Oh, he did?
You will eat some when you get home this time, right?
Listen, Emily, I need you to pass on a message to your dad. Tell him to quit doing things for me without asking. It's downright irritating.
Huh? What kind of attitude is that? Surely you mean, thanks for making my supper.
I get that he's bored and has nothing but free time on his hands after retiring, but I'd rather he didn't pretend like we were this happy, loved-up couple. If I'm honest, he's been nothing but a thorn in my side lately.
Pretend what?
Don't forget that I'm the one working long hours and putting food on the table for us all now. I am the breadwinner of this family. All your dad does is eat, sleep, and laze around the house, so he sure as heck isn't in any position to be complaining at me.
What are you talking about? Isn't the fact that Dad's able to live off his pension now proof that he worked hard all his life? What's wrong with him taking it easy after all he's done for us? I don't understand. You're a hard-working career woman, and I think that's something to be proud of, but at the same time, I think you should be more respectful with the way you speak about Dad.
Good grief, I don't need a lecture from the likes of you. So, you're taking his side in all of this, are you?
This isn't about taking sides, Mom. What are we, 6-year-olds? Both you and Dad have worked hard to provide for this family. It's not a competition. I fail to see the problem with Dad relaxing and living off his pension after working his ass off for over 50 years. In 10 more years, you'll be retiring and doing the same yourself, right? I'm not saying you should get on your knees and thank him for his efforts, but surely you could at least not be so disrespectful towards him.
Yeah, whatever. Is the sermon over now? If you'll excuse me, I'm surrounded by mountains of invoices and they aren't going to complete themselves. Unlike your father, some of us have work to do. I'll be eating in the office cafeteria tonight, so I won't be needing your dad's crummy stew.
Wow, I see how it is. You didn't take in a single word of what I just said, did you? And are you seriously insulting his stew now, too?
Ugh. You know, Mom, you're seriously starting to rile me up. I suggest you reevaluate the way you talk about my dad, and soon.
Hey, Emily, my sweet, delicious honey pie. Is now a good time? There's something I need to check with you.
Good morning, Chester, my rugged love muffin. It's not like you to message me this early. What's up?
Well, did your mom sleep away from the house last night by any chance? Or was she at home with you and your dad?
My mom? Apparently there was some trouble at the office that made her miss the last train, and she couldn't get a hold of a taxi without waiting over an hour. So she decided to sleep at a hotel near her company. She should be going straight to work from the hotel today.
I see. Is that what she told you?
Yes. This kind of thing has become pretty common ever since she got that promotion. To be honest, if anything, it's more unusual for her to be at home these days. She's the manager of a new department, so apparently she's constantly burdened with huge amounts of responsibility, and overtime has practically become part of her regular working hours.
I see.
What is it? Do you know something about my mom?
Well, it's just that... To be honest, I was hesitating about whether to mention this to you, what with me and you getting married next month. I thought maybe the timing was a bit off. But then kicking the can down the road ain't gonna do anyone any favors either.
Huh? If there's something bugging you, then you should tell me.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry for dragging it out. I bet I sound crazy dramatic right about now. To be honest with you, it's pretty heavy.
To tell you the truth, I think my mom's been acting weird for a while now. I get the impression she's hiding something from me and my dad, so if you know anything, I'd like to hear it.
You do? I see.
Yep, and I'm not the only one. My dad's feeling pretty anxious over the way she's behaving too, so go on, tell me.
Your dad too? Damn. In that case, I really should tell you. Alright, babe, I'll tell you. I'm serious though, it's heavy. You might want to sit down for this one.
Okay, I'm ready.
The thing is, I think your mom might be having an affair.
What?
You know that big, flashy, extravagant hotel that looks like a castle I go past on my way to work?
Oh, Oh, yeah, the one with a reputation for being seedy and attracting a less than respectable clientele?
Bingo. Well, the thing is, last night on my way home from work, I just so happened to see your mom going in there with one of my coworkers.
Whoa, what the heck? Hang on a sec. How old is your coworker?
Same age as me.
What? Oh my God, are you serious? I'm shocked enough that she's having an affair, but to think she's cheating on my dad with someone old enough to be her son? That's disgusting.
If she wasn't married, there wouldn't be an issue. I mean, it'd still be kinda weird, but if it made them happy, then who would we be to comment, right? Of course, she is married, though. And that's not all. Your dad isn't the only one being cheated on here. My coworker is married. With kids.
Oh my God, he's married too?
I'm sorry, babe. I know how shocking this is.
It's fine. I appreciate you telling me. Should I tell my dad about this? He might have some questions for you if I do.
That's fine. I don't mind.
All right, got it. I'm sorry to trouble you like this. Knowing what my dad's like, I wouldn't be surprised if he hired a private investigator to gather evidence for him.
Got it. I'm happy to go along with whatever your dad decides he wants to do. I should probably tell my mom and dad about it too. They think you're amazing though, so don't worry. It won't make them opposed to the wedding or anything like that.
Okay, I'm sorry. And thank you, Chester. Mom, I didn't see you this morning and now you're not even at the church? Where the hell are you? Mom, how about you answer the frickin' phone? What do you want? My phone is blowing up because of you, you silly girl. Answer me. Where are you? At work, obviously. I'm always at work. Why even bother asking questions you already knew the answer to? You're at work today? Yes, I had to come in on my day off due to some trouble at the office. This has been decided since last week. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy at work, so quit bugging me. I might have to stay at the office again tonight, so if you don't hear from me again, that's why. So you're at work, are you? Yes. Now, if you understand, you can stop messaging me now. Mom, sorry to bug you while you're away having an affair, but today is my wedding day. Huh? Oh, you forgot, huh? Fine, I've heard enough now. This conversation is over. What the? No, wait a second, dear. Wasn't your wedding supposed to be next week? No, next week's when we leave for the honeymoon. Wait, seriously? Don't bother showing up at the church today. I think you'd sorely regret it if you did. You see, I'm currently in the process of apologizing to everybody, including our relatives and Chester's entire family, for your absence. You're doing what now? Rest assured, I'm telling everybody exactly why you're not here, because you're on vacation having an affair with your lover. What the hell do you think you're playing at, you silly little girl? Do you have any idea how much damage you'll do to my reputation? I'm just relieved that Chester's parents were kind and big-hearted enough to understand that your despicable behavior isn't a reflection on me and didn't change their minds on giving us their blessing for the wedding. Stop, I'm on my way to the church. The wedding will be over by the time you get here. Huh? What do you mean? It would take you 3 hours to drive out all this way. Even if you left right this instant, you still wouldn't come close to making it on time. What? How the hell do you know that? Because Dad hired a private investigator who found out which hotel you and your lover are staying at. A private investigator? Has he lost his mind? He already found out about how your lover is one of your clients from another company. In fact, we've known for a while now. Oh my God, this can't be happening. Whatever you do now, it's too little, too late, so you may as well give up. I'm sorry to spoil your cheater's vacation with Loverboy, Mom. I feel bad. You were so excited about it you forgot your own daughter's wedding. How about you just forget about this whole thing and enjoy your time away? Your lover is obviously far, far more important to you than me and Dad ever were. Oh my God, Emily, please. I still have some preparations to make for the wedding. Bye. Emily, oh my God.
Do you know where your dad went? I can't find him anywhere. He's not at the house.
What do you want?
I just canceled my vacation and came home, but all of your dad's things are gone and he's nowhere to be seen.
Wow, you only just noticed?
What do you mean, only just? How long has he been gone?
Dad started moving his things a week ago.
A week ago?
He left a set of signed divorce papers in a folder containing all the proof of your affair with me this morning. You'll find them on the living room table. Oh, and he obviously has separate copies of the evidence, so destroying it won't accomplish anything. Dad felt awful about asking me to deal with something so crappy on my wedding day, and to be honest, I felt awful about how awful he felt. That said, I felt I had an obligation to take them to the house. In my mind, it was my way of declaring the end of our relationship and making the mental preparations to remove you from my life.
Remove me from your life? What on earth are you talking about, Emily? Don't say such crazy things.
How is it crazy? This was obviously going to happen. How did you think I'd react to finding out my mom was having an affair with a guy twice her age? How did you think I'd react to you being so wrapped up in your affair that you'd forget your own daughter's wedding day? You disgust me.
Oh my God, what are you even saying? This is no way to speak to your mother.
You mean the same mother whose cheater's vacation was more important to her than my wedding? You betrayed me, Mom. Do you have any idea how I felt? Do you have any idea how Dad feels after you betrayed him by cheating on him with some pipsqueak office nerd half his age after he spent his entire life doing backbreaking manual labor to provide for you and this family? Oh, and let's not forget your lover's wife. Do you have any idea how she feels? Do you have any idea how any of us feel? The answer is no, isn't it? Because you don't care.
What am I even supposed to say to that?
It's okay to admit you're a narcissistic manipulator who doesn't give a rat's ass about other people. We're cutting you out of our lives for good now anyway, so it's not like it makes any difference.
You're cutting me out of your lives?
Make no mistake, though, you will pay for what you did to us, you lying, cheating waste of space. You can't escape from the hellfire that's about to rain down on you, you despicable witch.
Pay?
Goodbye.
Emily, please. You have to tell your dad to withdraw this compensation claim. There's no way I can afford to pay all this. Has he lost his mind? I already lost my job. My boss found out I was giving Chad preferential treatment on our business contracts to keep him happy so he wouldn't break up with me. In a certain sense, I'm the victim in all this. My asshole boyfriend's the one who's in the wrong for making sexual advances against me to get ahead at work. Hello? Are you looking at these messages? I can see the tick mark. Stop ignoring me. Emily, please, I'm begging you. Isn't there some way we can make all of this go away? I feel terrible about what I did. Simply terrible. Honestly, I don't know what came over me and made me act so stupidly. I'm begging you, won't you please talk to your father? Won't you make him see sense? He'll listen to you. Won't you tell him to forgive me, please? Oh, pretty please, with a cherry on top? I'm begging you. You have to save our marriage, darling. Emily, why won't you answer my calls? Why are you ignoring my messages? Don't I at least deserve a reply? I'm your mother. I am the victim in all this, goddammit. You're my daughter. Surely you understand how none of this is my fault. Emily!
I didn't have the energy to respond to any of my mom's crap, so I tried to pretend I blocked her. Unfortunately, she wasn't as tech illiterate as I'd hoped, and she realized I could see her messages when she saw the tick marks, meaning I had no choice but to actually block her before the notifications drove me insane. The next day, just to be safe, I got a new number. True to form as the most stubborn person I've ever known, she refused to agree to the divorce for a whole 6 months, constantly insisting that she, and not my dad, was the victim in all of this. Eventually, my mom's brother, my uncle, lost his patience and gave her a furious lecture said to be so loud it could be heard from 5 blocks away. And with that, she finally agreed to sign the divorce papers. To my surprise, she even paid my dad all of the compensation he asked for in one lump sum. Who knows, maybe she does have a conscience after all. I wouldn't bet on it, though. Newly single and afraid of being alone, my mom did try showing up at her ex-lover's place after finding out his wife had also divorced him. But unfortunately for my mom, he had found himself a new girlfriend during the 6 months she'd spent fighting the divorce. And it was at that moment that the grave reality that he'd been using her as a tool to advance his career truly sunk in. With that, consumed with jealous rage, she transformed into a feral beast and launched an attack on them as they went out for a meal at a restaurant one evening. I don't know the details, but I do know that the police were called and charges were filed. As for me, Chester, and my dad, all we can say is thank God we cut her out of our lives. Life's too short to keep toxic people like my ex-mom around. Here's to the future.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Beatrice? What the hell was that stunt you pulled at the funeral? How could you act like that when your husband just died? I get that you're probably not in a good place emotionally right now, but there is no justification for shouting out, "His inheritance is finally mine," in the middle of the ceremony. And what the hell was that maniacal laugh you did afterwards? There are some things you just don't do. Well, would you look at who's preaching at me? You've got some nerve, Yasmin. If I'm not mistaken, the only reason you married my son Denzel was for his money. You're no better than me. We're practically in the same boat here, so how about you get off your high horse and drop that disgusting self-righteous attitude of yours? I promise you that is not why I married Denzel. Now I've heard it all. Playing the innocent good girl is easy, but it's obvious what you were after when you look at how much you've gained by marrying him. Not only are you now the wife of a company president, but he also gave you an executive position. Convincing my son to marry you not only landed you a high-status husband, but also a high-status job. And you've got the nerve to preach at me. I'm just a plain old stay-at-home housewife. You make me look like an amateur. I should be asking you for tips. Ugh, will you just listen to me? I'm telling you, it wasn't like that at all. You literally couldn't be more wrong. I got promoted to managing director of the company before we got married, and it had nothing to do with my relationship with Denzel. I was already a manager when we met, for crying out loud. Quit making hurtful accusations based on nothing but speculation. Anyway, quit trying to change the subject. Fine, point taken. Okay, dear, I admit it. Boldly proclaiming my right to my husband's inheritance in front of everyone at the funeral like that was tactless and immature. But when I think about how before long I'll be the proud owner of $2 million, I just can't contain my glee. Huh? Wait a sec. $2 million. As in $2 million. We'll be discussing the inheritance with the lawyer soon, right? You have no right to lecture me on this when you're not in line to inherit a single cent. Sure, I wasn't Frank's legal heir, so I get it's not really my place to get involved, but with the way you behaved at the funeral, I just had to say something. How about you get a grip and show some respect? That was Frank's, your husband's funeral. Would it really have hurt you to have shown some respect for the deceased? How do you think he'd feel if he knew you were after his money all along? Do you have any idea how disgusted everyone was with you? I don't know how else to tell you this, so I'm just gonna say it. The entire family despises you now, so I think you should proceed very carefully from here on out. Who cares? They're just jealous that I'm about to inherit a cool $2 million, and they're gonna be left broke and penniless by the wayside. Getting upset over everyone's petty complaints wouldn't get me anywhere now, would it? Beatrice, won't you please just listen to me? Won't you just try to understand what I'm saying here as your daughter-in-law?
Frank was loved by a lot of people. Surely you can understand why they might be shocked at you bragging about your inheritance at his funeral. Surely you can see why it might not be wise to go around making enemies like this. You need to be careful. I'm serious. I don't know what might happen if you make any more careless, insensitive remarks like that. This could have serious knock-on effects down the line for you.
Fine. Point taken. Is the sermon over now, Vicar? Can I go home? Jeez, I'm so bored of your whining, I think I might actually keep my mouth shut in the future if it means being spared the self-righteous preaching.
Wow. You have no intention of self-reflecting, do you? Fine, whatever. If the threat of my preaching is what it takes for you not to say outrageously hurtful things, then so be it. Please be more careful in the future.
You really are the most insolent little witch I've ever met.
Hey, Yasmin. I decided to come home. I left things at my dad's house to my aunt and uncle.
Oh, good evening, Denzel.
I'm so sorry about today.
Why would you apologize?
I'm sorry for what Beatrice did at the funeral. I know she might only have been my dad's second wife and isn't my real mum, but in a sense, she was still there in the capacity of my mum. What with being my dad's wife and all. Well, there's no excusing what she did. Even though you cut her off mid-cackle and remonstrated her for her despicable behaviour, even though you were forced to go around apologising to all of the guests at the funeral, she clearly had no intention of apologising and didn't feel bad about what she did in the slightest.
Right. You know, I just feel completely stupefied every time I think about it. You'd think the wife of a wealthy business owner would understand the importance of presenting herself well to the world and knowing how to conduct herself in public. I messaged her about it after, but she carried on being as arrogant and insensitive as she was at the funeral.
Her behaviour at the funeral made it pretty obvious she only ever married my dad for his money. I mean, I guess I'd be lying if I said I didn't already know what kind of person she was before all this. But that little stunt she just pulled took my disdain to her to a whole new level. We're gonna have to keep our eyes on her for a little while.
You're right.
Hello, Yasmin. I'm going on vacation. Excuse me? Apparently there were a couple of guests who couldn't make it to the funeral due to a family emergency, so they'll be stopping by at the house to make their apologies and give their condolences shortly. Make sure you're home to receive them.
Vacation? What the hell are you playing at? Your husband's barely been dead a week. It's only been 3 days since the funeral. How insensitive can you be? Do you have no idea how inappropriately you're behaving, or do you just not care?
What do you suggest I do with all this free time I have on my hands?
Huh?
Thinking about my $2 million is a nice, happy distraction, and it puts a big smile on my face, but I'm not actually going to have it until the inheritance procedures are finalized with the lawyer. None of my friends, mostly the wives of CEOs and celebrities, are inviting me to social events because they think I'm grieving. To make matters worse, I can't even stay at the house because of all the gloomy, miserable people showing up to give their condolences. If I don't get a change of scenery soon, I might get depressed and kill myself.
Oh my God! Well, your friends are obviously mistaken because you're clearly not grieving at all. I can't even believe what I'm reading. Is there nothing but a big black hole where your heart should be?
Quit lecturing me and come to the house immediately. I've already left. I can't risk missing my flight.
Your flight? What the hell?
All right, toodles, honey pumpkin.
Gah! When are you going to stop acting like this?
Yasmin, is it true she went on vacation?
Yes. I have no idea where she's going or when she'll be back. She left without giving me any details. I've been blowing up her phone with calls and messages, but she's completely ignoring me.
God damn it. I really am sorry.
Why would you apologize to me, Denzel?
Because in the eye of the world, she is kinda seen as my mum.
Who cares about the eyes of the world? You're my husband. You don't have to worry about things like that with me. Don't sweat it. I'm unfazed.
Thanks, babe.
There is something I need to ask you, though.
What is it?
It's about the inheritance. Beatrice seems to think she's in line to receive $2 million. Is that true?
Excuse me? $2 million.
Right? I wonder where the hell she got that idea from.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
What in the Lord's almighty name is going on here? What the hell was that crap written on that will? It said all of my husband's properties and assets went to Denzel while he was still alive? And I, his wife, am left with nothing but a measly $50,000? The rest of his money was donated to a cancer charity. Oh, I can't believe it. This is the ultimate betrayal.
Yep, there you have it. You kind of just answered your own question, so I'm not really sure what to say. Seems like you understand the will perfectly.
What did you do? This is all the result of one of your cunning little schemes, isn't it, woman? I bet you've been planning this scenario ever since my husband was still alive, haven't you?
No, the will has nothing to do with me.
What happened to the $2 million I was supposed to inherit?
Yeah, about that. I never really understood how you managed to convince yourself you were in line to inherit $2 million. Would you mind explaining?
What is there to explain? Isn't it obvious? I heard his first wife got $2 million, so I thought I'd get the same. Why would he pay his current wife less than his ex?
Huh? By his ex-wife, do you mean Denzel's mother?
Who else would I be talking about, bird brain?
Ah, I think I understand now.
Where the hell did my $2 million disappear to?
Your $2 million is already gone.
Huh? What did you just say? How could my $2 million be gone? What does that even mean?
Denzel's mom manages a high-end burger joint in New York. Frank owned it, but she runs it. Apparently the yearly revenue hit the $2 million mark just before Frank passed away.
Huh? A yearly revenue?
I'm guessing that's where you got the $2 million figure from. Oh, and before you get excited, the restaurant was left to Denzel's little brother and his wife, so you won't be getting that either. Basically, that $2 million you convinced yourself you were set to inherit didn't actually have anything to do with the inheritance at all.
Oh my God. Oh, this can't be happening. You mean my $2 million never even existed?
Yes, exactly. Still, you did get $50,000. That's hardly a small sum of money, Beatrice. Surely that should be enough for you.
$50,000 is nothing, you imbecile. It'll be gone before I even manage to pay off all my debts.
Huh? Your debt? Since when were you in debt?
I thought I was in line to receive a fat $2 million, so I started being a little liberal with my spending. I ate at luxury restaurants, replaced my entire wardrobe with branded clothing, and even started visiting a male strip club. And that's not to even mention my vacation to Hawaii and my stay at their best luxury 5-star hotel. How do you think I paid for all of that stuff? I went into debt, you idiot!
Wow. So are you telling me the total of all that stuff came to more than $50,000?
I'll be completely broke when I pay everything off. What are you going to do to fix this, young lady?
And why exactly would I do that?
Aha, of course! You're to relinquish your position as managing director at my son's company to me at once.
Excuse me?
Everyone knows corporate bigwigs get paid absurd sums of money to do nothing but laze around in their offices while barking orders at people all day. Even I, a stay-at-home housewife, could do that. Yes, that's it. The solution to my problems. With your salary, I'll have my debt paid off in no time, and before long, I'll be able to start spending money and enjoying my life again.
I can assure you, managing a company definitely isn't as much of a cakewalk as you seem to think it is.
Huh?
Sure, me being chosen for this job is unprecedented at the company with how young I am, so I guess an outsider could be forgiven for thinking it's not that difficult if someone my age can do it. But the only reason I made it this far is because I worked hard ever since day one. I made my way up through the ranks and did everything by the book. I certainly didn't make it to where I am through special treatment, and it didn't have anything to do with me being Denzel, the company president's wife. I earned my position through nothing but grit, determination, and hard work, and that's a fact.
Oh, wow, Yasmin, there's no need to get upset. How the heck did you think I was going to respond to hearing my job being described as lazing around in my office while barking orders at people all day, after slowly clawing my way through the ranks by sacrificing my personal life due to constant overtime and overnight stays at the office for years to get it? It'd be weirder if having to deal with a crazy bitch like you didn't make me angry. Fine, point taken. You can keep your job. But you are going to have to provide me with some form of recompense for the unfortunate situation you've put me in. You'll spare some money for your mother-in-law, won't you, dear? I'm in a rather awkward position here. For the situation I put you in? What the hell are you talking about? Anyway, don't you have your pension? Why can't you live on that? Sure I do, but it's hardly much. I sure as heck won't be able to rely on it for the rest of my life. I need security, dear. And why is that my problem? You can play the sympathy card till you're blue in the face for all I care. I'm not giving you a single cent. Denzel is the CEO now after inheriting the company from his dad. You are not, nor have you ever, been in any position to interfere with anything related to the company. Surely if you put in a good word for me with Denzel, he'll be able to arrange some monthly payments for me to live on. It's not like I'm asking for much, just $10,000 a month will do. Are you seriously asking for $10,000 a month from a company you have nothing to do with? Your arrogance truly knows no bounds. Then what do you suggest I do? Would you see me out on the streets begging for handouts? Would it really kill you to get a job? Huh? A job? You're still in your 40s. There's literally no reason you can't get a job and work like the rest of us. If you want to work at our company, then you'll just have to apply when we start recruiting again, just like anyone else would. You're not entitled to handouts or easy access just because of me and Denzel. On the other hand, there's also no reason you can't get a job there if you meet the conditions and make a good impression during the interview. So why not go for it? Who the hell do you think you are, young lady? This is no way to speak to your mother-in-law, you condescending little brat. You should think more carefully before you speak. You're my daughter-in-law, and you and my son have a sacred duty to provide for me. Actually, you're technically not related to either of us anymore. Huh? You were Denzel's mother-in-law, which I guess kind of made you my mom-in-law too. But what with his dad passing, you're nothing but strangers to us both now. Well, I... Also, the house you're currently living in belongs to Denzel now. If you want to carry on living there, you're gonna have to start paying rent. Rent? Based on the size of the place and the way the rental market's going lately, you're probably gonna be looking at least $2,000 a month. $2,000 a month? Have you lost your goddamn mind? If it's too much for you, I suggest you find somewhere else to live. But I don't have any money.
It's been 10 years since me and Denzel met Beatrice. Ever since that time, she had the privilege of living a life of leisure and carefree luxury as a stay-at-home housewife on Denzel's dad's dime, without ever having to work once. However, her life of luxury and relaxation fell apart in an instant with the shocking and sudden passing of her husband. As expected, the $50,000 she did inherit immediately disappeared when she used it to pay off the debt she'd accrued after spectacularly convincing herself she was set to receive a tidy $2 million. In a desperate attempt to avoid working, she begged her relatives for money. But unfortunately for her, the whole family disowned her after witnessing her reprehensible antics at the funeral, and she didn't have a soul left in the world to rely on. When they suggested she go to the job center to try and find work, to everyone's surprise, she actually listened and, miraculously, actually found a job. She finally moved out of Denzel's house 2 weeks ago. Maybe you won't be surprised to hear she got into a fight with one of her coworkers on her first day at her new job. And with that, her prospects of carrying on there disintegrated. With that, Beatrice's attempt at reintegrating into society after 10 years flopped in an epic fashion. And she found herself once again lost, desperate, broke, and alone.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Mom, I have big news, like humongous news.
Allie, aren't you still at school? What is it? You know that incredible pianist Hayden Jacobson that I love? Guess what? He's gonna do a recital at the auditorium downtown.
Wow, oh, that's amazing. If I recall correctly, he actually graduated from your high school, didn't he? Oh, it's crazy to think someone from our town is now a world-famous musician.
I know, right? Back when I was a freshman, he played a special mini concert at our high school for the music department. That was what made me want to be a pianist. But this is going to be a full recital. I have to go. Will you come with me?
Wow, are you sure that would be all right?
Well, duh. You've been so supportive of me and my dream of becoming a pianist like Hayden. I would love for you to come with me.
Is that so? I suppose we'll have to reserve our tickets quickly then. I'd hate for you to miss out on such an incredible opportunity as this.
So you'll go with me then? Awesome! I'm so excited!
Hello, Lisa. I need you to come over here tomorrow and help me. I'm planning to clean my kitchen. Oh, tomorrow? Yes, we'll start working at 10 a.m. sharp, so make sure you're here no later than 9 a.m. You'll need to help me prepare as well. Oh boy, oh, this is really unfortunate timing. I'm sorry, Mom, but I'm afraid I can't make it at that time. What was that? It almost seems as though you're disobeying a direct order from your mother-in-law. No, it's not that. Would it be okay to do it in the afternoon? That would work better for me. Maybe I wasn't clear. You will start your work at 10 a.m. sharp. End of discussion. Please understand, I have plans for tomorrow morning that I can't put off until later. Plans? You? What on earth could you be doing? There's something I need to do for Allie right at 10 o'clock. It's very, very important to her. Oh, something for Allie, you say? Yes, it's for Allie. She's got school tomorrow, and since I'm at home, she needs me to take care of it for her. Well then, I suppose I can make an exception if it's for her. Fine, you can come clean in the afternoon. Thank you so much, Mom. I really appreciate you being so understanding.
Hey, Mom! Well, did you get the tickets?
I sure did.
Yes! Thank you, Mom! I was so nervous that the tickets would get sold out instantly. I couldn't even pay attention in my last class. My social media feed has been full of people saying there were only a few tickets left.
What's that? Are you looking at social media during class?
No. But seriously, thank you so much, Mom.
To be honest, you were right to be nervous. There were only 5 open seats when I went through the checkout. And speaking of which, I hope you won't be too upset to be up in the nosebleed section. We'll have to remember to bring a good pair of binoculars.
Nah, I'm just glad to be able to go at all. Besides, it's not like that auditorium is that big, and it's a piano recital, not a movie. As long as I can hear it, I'll be more than happy. Sure, it would be nice to be up close to the stage, but I'm not all that concerned.
Good to hear. Well, I got my order confirmation email just now, so it looks like we're all set.
Wow, thank you so much, Mom. I can't wait. Hey, Mom. I'm sitting here in my seat. Are you still waiting in line for the bathroom?
Yep, I'm still here. This line is unbelievable. And the men's bathroom has no line, of course.
I told you to go to the bathroom before we left the house, didn't I?
Boy, you sound like me right now. I wanted to wait until just before the concert started. I didn't want to have to leave halfway through.
Think you're gonna make it in time?
Yeah, I should be fine. I'm almost at the bathroom door.
Wait.
What's going on?
I think I see Grandma coming up the stairs.
Really?
Did Grandma say anything about coming to the concert today?
Well. A friend invited me to the concert tonight, and what's this I see? My dear daughter-in-law, Lisa. And what's more, I just saw you sit down in the very front row. What do you think you're doing, Lisa? You have some explaining to do. You're up here in the most expensive seats in the house, and you didn't even tell me?
Mom, what are you talking about?
You've got some nerve hiding from your own mother-in-law that you're spending piles of cash on luxuries like this.
Mom, again, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm at the concert, yes, but I'm standing in line for the restroom right now. I'm not sitting down. And no, I don't have the tickets for the front row. We're actually pretty high up in the back. Mom, this is really bad. So the woman that's sitting in front of Grandma kinda looks like you, I guess, and Grandma just kicked her. Like, really kicked her.
What?
Yeah, she literally kicked her out of her seat, and then Grandma sat down where she was sitting. All the people sitting around her are so shocked at what happened that they're all just kind of staring with confused looks on their faces.
And what happened to the woman Grandma kicked?
She started crying and just walked out of the auditorium. Oh, I hope she's okay.
My goodness, sitting in the front row is a totally different experience. I feel like I'm practically sitting up on stage next to the piano. Mom, what on earth do you think you're doing? I'm giving you a taste of your just desserts, you little upstart. Listen to me, that isn't my seat. What?
Update, Mom. I was right. It definitely was Grandma who kicked that lady. Some staff guys came by just now and they dragged her out of the auditorium.
Oh no, this is just going from bad to worse.
Yeah, and I'm not done. While they were dragging her out, she was shouting, "Get your hands off me! This is my seat! My good-for-nothing daughter-in-law gave it to me!"
Wow, she's still convinced that it was me sitting in that seat?
Yeah, looks like it. The dress she was wearing is practically the exact same as the one you have on. Plus her hair is the same length and color, and you're just about the same height, too. I honestly did a double take when I first saw her because I thought she was you.
Wow, that's insane. What an incredibly unfortunate coincidence. Lisa, you owe me an apology. For what? Don't give me for what. You know what you did. You thoroughly humiliated me at the concert last night. And thanks to you, the dear friend who invited me with her told me she doesn't want to see me again. Not to mention my husband and son are both furious at me. Sure, the woman I kicked agreed to not press charges, but you wouldn't believe the amount of money I had to pay her to do that. It was the worst night of my entire life. If I understand correctly, the woman in the front row that you thought was me and decided to literally kick out of her own seat just so happened to be the pianist's wife, right? Yes, that just makes this all the more humiliating. Shouldn't you have, talked to her? Looked at her face, made sure you had the right person before up and kicking her? If you had done that, none of this would have happened, and we all could have been spared the embarrassment of your exploits last night. Enough! I demand an apology from you this instant!
Hi, Grandma.
My, if it isn't my dear Allie! Oh, listen, darling, you'll never believe what your mother has done to me this time.
What I don't believe is what you did at the concert last night.
Oh, no, Allie. Oh, not you too. What awful lies has your mother told you? Don't believe a word she says. I'm the victim here.
I didn't have to hear anything from her. I saw it all firsthand.
What?
I was there at that concert too, and I saw everything.
You were?
Hayden Jacobson is my hero. He's the reason I started playing the piano. I know all of his songs by heart, and I can even play a few of them. And you assaulted his wife? How could you do a thing like that?
No, Allie. Oh, it was all one big misunderstanding. A case of mistaken identity, that's all.
Do you think that makes it any better? You're admitting that you were intending to hurt my mom like you did Hayden's wife. She didn't do anything to deserve that.
But...
Fortunately, she wasn't seriously injured and the concert went fine after that, but oh my gosh, Grandma. Do you have any idea how terrible it could have been if the concert was canceled because of what you did?
Terrible? How so?
We would have been held liable for the entire cost of the concert. Tickets, refreshments, everything.
Really?
Yes, really. You would have been looking at possibly even hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages. Do you not understand that? The only thing that saved you from that was sheer dumb luck.
I see.
You should be grateful that all you had to do is pay her off to not press charges. She may be willing to move past this, but I'm not.
Wait, Allie, please, let's not do anything hasty. I'm your grandmother, Allie, and I love you dearly.
There's something that's been bothering me for a long time now. You're always super duper nice to me, but at the same time, you're always crazy harsh on my mom. Do you have anything to say about that? Is there any reason you basically treat my mom like your slave?
Goodness, Allie, that's not it at all. I'm just doing my part to help make her into a decent wife. It's for her own good.
For her own good? Give me a break. You've never seen her after she gets back from doing all of your housework for you. Yeah, she's physically tired, but I can't imagine how hard it must be to mentally hold back from saying what she really thinks. You think she needs training on how to be a decent wife? I'd say you need training on how to be a decent human being.
Allie, oh please, don't be so angry at me like that. You're making me sad.
Oh, you're sad? That's it, I'm done. You clearly have zero self-awareness, and I'm wasting my time talking to you. I'm blocking your number.
You're blocking my number, but why?
That you have to ask just proves my point. I hate you.
Allie, no! Lisa, please. Oh, you need to come over here and talk some sense into my husband. All of this is your fault in the first place. You need to fix what you've done.
Ugh, what is it now, Mom?
I just told you. Come talk to my husband.
Could you please start making some sense sometime soon?
My husband is going to divorce me.
Wow, he is? Really?
Yes, now hurry up and get over here. Tell him that all of this is your responsibility. Apologize for what you've done and tell him that he can't divorce me.
Apologize? For what exactly? I haven't done anything wrong.
What?
You're talking about the concert, right? You got mad because you thought I was sitting in a nicer seat than you, caused a massive scene, and assaulted an innocent woman. Tell me, what responsibility do I have for any of that?
You were at the concert, though.
Yeah, and? Let me ask you again, exactly what part of that night's events were my fault? It seems you're bound and determined to somehow make this all my fault, but it was pure happenstance that Allie and I happened to be attending the same show as you. Allie sat down in our seats and saw everything that you did to that poor woman. She then messaged me in a panic while I was waiting in line for the bathroom and told me what you had done. Then I went over to the staff and told them you were a relative of mine and took you off of their hands. You should be glad I was there. If I wasn't, you would have had to deal with that all on your own.
You made me apologize to them. Now apologize to me for making me apologize. That was humiliating.
Oh, that was humiliating for you, huh? How humiliating do you think it was for me to have to go around and apologize to all the rest of the concert staff for your disturbance?
What do you mean?
Hayden's wife agreed to not press charges in exchange for a payoff, right? That was thanks to me, by the way. And the other day, Allie texted you to tell you off and then blocked you, right? Do you get where I'm going? Literally every single involved party, except you, realizes that everything was your fault.
How dare you?
And it's precisely because of that attitude that your husband has had enough of you and wants a divorce.
You can't talk to me like this. I'm your mother-in-law.
Yeah, you're my mother-in-law. And?
You impudent little brat.
If there's anything that's been made clear over the last week or so, it's that you, not me, are the one who is completely incapable of behaving like an adult. And since my husband has explicitly told me that I don't need to put up with any of your nonsense anymore, I've decided that I'm going to tell you like it is from now on.
Well, looks like I need to have a talk with my son, too.
Good luck with that. I don't think he's going to have very many pleasant things to say to you after everything you've done, if he even speaks to you at all.
What?
I'm out. Goodbye. A few days later, my mother-in-law and her husband divorced. She obviously had no way to pay Hayden's wife the amount that I negotiated for, so for the time being, her older brother is footing the bill. Oh, don't worry, though, she's not off the hook. He's going to have her become essentially a live-in maid for him and his wife until she's worked off the debt she now owes to them. And after that, he'll disown her. And he only agreed to that out of the kindness of his heart, since all of her other siblings turned her down. Looks like this isn't her first escapade of this sort, and even her own family is sick of her nonsense. So she's going to be an old maid working as an old maid for the next few years, then become a homeless old maid. But enough about her. My daughter sent a letter to the Jacobsons apologizing for everything her grandmother had done to them. They sent a reply congratulating her for being a much bigger person than her grandmother, and included a signed copy of his latest album. Getting a handwritten letter from her hero lit a fire in her heart like I've never seen before. And she's currently practicing the piano twice as hard as ever before.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.